Hi, let's talk pinkeye in cattle.
What is pinkeye?
Pinkeye is a very painful disease that occurs in cattle. The medical name is keratoconjunctivitis, which means a bacterial infection of both the cornea of the eye as well as the surrounding tissues of the eye, which are the conjunctiva.
So how do I minimize pinkeye in my cattle?
In order to minimize pinkeye in your cattle, you want to think about reducing trauma to the eyeball. There's three main things I can think of that fit into this category. One is fly control. Flies can cause trauma to the eye as well as spread the bacteria cow to cow. Additionally, during the summer, we have dust, which is quite often a factor. Dust contaminating the eye, causing microtrauma and abrasions, increases the risk of pinkeye in cattle. Feed can also traumatize the eye, and this can occur in grazing cattle. So pasture clipping to knock down the tall weeds and grass to prevent trauma is important, as well as cattle eating out of elevated feeders or round bale feeders can get trauma to the eye from the feed. The fourth thing doesn't involve trauma, it involves trying to prevent it, and that is use of vaccination.
You said I can potentially prevent pinkeye in my cattle with a vaccine. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, I've got good news on that front. So due to frustrations that our clients have had over the years in the efficacy of commercially available pinkeye vaccines, Mount Baker Vet had a conditionally licensed autogenous vaccine made. What we did is we went out to client herds and we took swabs and sampled clinical cases of pinkeye from client herds, and then we had a lab grow those samples, and those were the samples that we used to have a vaccine made specifically for our clients here in Whatcom County.
So what is unique about this vaccine?
Well, there's 4 major bacterial species that cause pinkeye in cattle. Most of the commercial pinkeye vaccines that are on the market contain 1 or 2 of those species of bacteria in the vaccine. The autogenous vaccine that we had made contains 3 of those species of bacteria, and additionally multiple strains of 2 of those species. So we have much broader coverage in our vaccine than most available commercial vaccines. Additionally, we know that these are strains of bacteria that are causing disease right here in our local cattle. What I'm really excited about with this vaccine is the delivery system. With our vaccine, we utilize the soludose technology, which allows 1 trip through the chute or lockups. We deliver a subcutaneous or under the skin pellet of the vaccine, which acts as both the primary vaccination and the booster dose, rather than having to give 2 or 3 vaccinations with most of the commercial vaccines in order to get immunization and protection against pinkeye. What this means is less time, less money, and less stress on your cattle if you utilize the soludose system.
So what should producers do if they get a case of pinkeye in their herd?
I would encourage people to immediately call Mount Baker Vet Business Office. That way we'll be able to get one of our veterinarians to your farm where we can collect a swab sample from the case of pinkeye, and then we can help you in choosing the treatment that's going to be right for that animal. The reason we would want to collect a sample is so that we can have it cultured to compare it to see if it's a different strain than is what is currently in the vaccine. If it is a different strain, then we can include that sample from your particular farm in the next production run of the vaccine.
So what is the next production run?
Well, we only have a limited number of doses of vaccine made at any one time. Once we've sold out of that initial production run, what we'll do is have another production run made to make another batch of vaccine, and we can incorporate any of those cultures that we've taken in the meantime that have yielded different strains that are currently in the vaccine. So those new strains can be added to the vaccine to give it even better, broader coverage and better efficacy here in our local environment. Additionally, we're anticipating in the next production run of vaccine to include Fusobacterium necrophorum. That way, our vaccine will be a combined pinkeye and foot rot vaccine.
When should producers be vaccinating for pinkeye?
Springtime is a great time to vaccinate against pinkeye. By doing this at spring, before you turn out onto pasture, you're going to protect your cattle during that summer-fall grazing period where we see most of the clinical pinkeye disease. Additionally, if you're one of the few herds that sees pinkeye cases throughout the winter when the cattle are in more of an indoor housing environment, you might want to consider a fall-time vaccination as well.
Okay. Where can producers get this vaccine?
Producers that are interested in utilizing this vaccine can contact the Mount Baker Vet Business Office. They will be able to collect the information from you that's needed in order for us to get you added to the list of farms that can utilize this conditionally licensed autogenous vaccine.
Did you vaccinate your cattle with this yet?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, Jessica and I vaccinated our herd prior to putting them out on summer pasture. As you'll see in the upcoming video, I'll demonstrate how you use the Soludose technology to administer this vaccine.
Let's talk pinkeye.
So we're also going to vaccinate this calf for pinkeye. We have autogenous Bacterin, which has been made, which is the Solubac technology. And the way these work is there are 10 doses of the vaccine, which are included. In a little clip.
Let me see that little clip.
And the clip gets loaded into the solid doser applicator. And you push it down until you hear it click. And now it's ready to administer. This one goes sub-Q. And so what I like to do is pinch the skin up here, pop through the skin, depress so that, and then I keep it squeezed when I withdraw, and I push where I have the needle, and then that way the plunger is still out of the needle. That way I make sure I deposited my lid, and you can feel there's a little, feels like a grain of rice right under the skin there. And that is the Solubac technology. It's a dual stage pellet that's in there.